Good morning, everyone. We're going to start today's Committee of Adjustment meeting in Scarborough, 2025. My name is David Stinson. I'll be chairing today's Scarborough Committee of Adjustment hearing. In accordance with Sections 45 and 53 of the Planning Act 1990, as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. The Committee of Adjustment considers applications for variances from the provisions of zoning that apply to property matters, permissions to extend or alter lawful nonconforming uses, consent to sever property to create new lots. Land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, and Haudenosaunee and Wendat, in addition to many more diverse First Nations, including Inuit and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas and the Credit and Williams Treaty signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands. Committee of Adjustment hearings are conducted by hybrid in-person or remote online formats. Some applicants and participants will make their submissions in person and others will participate online using the WebEx platform. Sir, we can hear you talking out in the audience. Put the phone away, thanks. Those who want to participate online and have registered in advance will be connected to their electronic device, and you will have the option of participating by video or audio. You will be automatically muted upon online entry to WebEx, and when your item is called, you will be unmuted by the city staff moderator. Please note, you must mute your device until you are called upon to speak. Those participating by video will be temporarily labeled as panelists when their item is called. During this time, your camera will be enabled and you will be visible during your 5 minutes of speaking. At all times, your video will be disabled as designated attendee. For in-person and online participants, the Committee of Adjustment will share presentations submitted within the written submission deadline. Those participating by WebEx are not allowed to use share screen or other panelist controls and will be removed if doing so. Receiving a copy of a decision of the committee. Those in person who want to receive a copy of the decision by committee must fill out a decision request card, and those participating online must submit a written request for decisions by email. Please include your name, address, and email address because the Committee of Adjustment and the Toronto Local Appeal Body, TLAB, will be sending notifications and appeal updates by email only. If you do not agree with the decision of this committee, you may be able to appeal the decision to the TLAB or Toronto Local Appeal Body, or in some limited circumstances to the Ontario Land Tribunal, OLT. However, the provincial government amended the Planning Act and generally removed rights of third parties to appeal Committee of Adjustment decisions, and only the applicant, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, or specified persons and public bodies are permitted to appeal decisions. Hearing procedure. I will call each item in the order listed on the agenda, except for consent deferrals requests determined by city staff. Making your submissions. Where an application is uncontested, the agent applicant may proceed with their presentation. When the committee does not require a presentation, the agent or applicant can advise me, the chair, if they want to speak. The committee may ask questions and take the matter into committee for their decision. Each speaker, including the applicant or agent, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address this committee. Any presentation or materials you wish to submit to committee must have been emailed in advance of the hearing, as members cannot accept materials at the hearing. When speaking to committee, please identify yourself as the applicant or the agent, your legal name, your address, and only make remarks regarding application details. The applicant or agent will proceed first and will make presentation to the committee. The committee may decide to defer an application if substantially revised to ensure the revised application is accurate and that all those entitled to notice of the application are informed of said changes. Speakers in support or opposed to applications will be invited by this committee to speak. Committee members may ask questions of speakers after their presentation. When all the speakers are finished, the applicant or agent can rebut only issues raised by the speakers. This will mark the end of the discussion and the application will be then taken into committee for a decision. where only committee members can speak. Now, before hearing the first item today, can I have a motion to confirm the minutes of the last meeting? Mr. Khan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that the minutes of June 4th, 2025 be adopted as circulated.
Thank you. Ms. McCauley?
I will second that motion.
All those in favor? The minutes are carried and approved. Are there any declarations of interest by panel or staff regarding the agenda items today?
Through the chair, there are none from staff.
Thank you, Deputy Treasurer, and there's none noted by this committee. Now, we do have, with respect to, are there any files to be closed?
Through the chair, there are none.
Deputy Secretary Treasurer, have you received a request for any deferrals?
Through the chair, we have 5 deferral requests for the morning session.
Thank you.
The first item is item number 1, 38 MARYDON Crescent, deferral at the request of the applicant in order to correctly identify all required variances.
Okay, for that deferral, I notice from our paperwork and documentation there are conditions of approval for community planning. That being said, do we have the applicant or agent available? Come on down, sir. Good to see you.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Chairman and the committee members. My name is Yaso Somalingam. I'm the authorized agent on this application. Actually, we have 2 applications, 38 and 40 MARYDON. There's a deficiency in sending the notice, so we would like to withdraw both applications. Not withdraw, sorry. We would like to defer both applications to the next available meeting.
Very good, sir. Having heard you say that, I don't think we need to hear from the actual applicant or owner, so it's good that you're here online with us. I'm just going to look to my left and right, and I know you're asking for a deferral. Does anyone need a presentation or have any questions for? Okay, sir, it seems like we have all the required information to make our decision regarding your deferral request. Are you satisfied we go into committee and do that now?
Yes, so since both applications, I don't know whether you want to deal separately or you want to do both together, it's up to you. So we'd like to defer both 38 and 40 MARYDON.
Yes, we're going to do both, if that's good.
Thank
so
you.
You're welcome. Okay, we're in committee now, so sit tight. We'll render a decision. Who would go ahead, Ms. Ullman?
Through you, Mr. Chair, at the request of the applicant, in order to correctly identify variances, I move deferral to the next available hearing, and that would be for item number 1, 38 MARYDON, and item number 2, 40 MARYDON Crescent.
Very good. Ms. Ullman's moved that we defer these matters. Does anyone wish to second that? Ms. McCauley?
I'll second that motion for both those items.
Motion to defer by Ms. Ullman, seconded by Ms. McCauley. All those in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sarah. This matter's been deferred. You're welcome.
Through the chair, the 3rd deferral request for the morning session is item number 9, 1571 Sandhurst Circle. Deferral at the request of the applicant in order to correctly identify all requested variances.
Thank you. Just give me a second here. I'm just having a bit of a glitch. I notice we have the recommendations, of course, for this matter by community planning for the deferral, as you discussed. I think at this point, we'll speak to the applicant or agent. Thank you. Are they online?
Would you have been unmuted? You can speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, your full name and your address, please.
Okay. Good morning, committee members and the chair. My name is Wajiha Sharo. My address is 3025 Oslo Crescent in Mississauga. I'm an agent for the owners of 1571 Sandhurst Circle for this variance.
Good morning, thank you. At this time, community planning is requesting a deferral on this matter. Do you have any thoughts?
No, we agree with the community planning. I have been in conversation with the planner on the file, and we would like to defer it to the next available meeting. We would like to clarify all the variances and the clarifications so that the city and the applicant is on the same platform, for example, like for this application to move forward.
Very good. This will be quite quick then. Just hold tight. We're going to go into committee now and talk amongst ourselves.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Mr. Hahn.
Thank you, Chair. At the request of the applicant, I move deferral of this application in order to, for the applicant to correctly identify all the requested variances.
Thank you, Mr. Ho. Do we have someone that would second that motion? Ms. McCauley?
I will second that motion for deferral.
Moved by Mr. Howe to defer, seconded by Ms. McCauley. All those in favor? That's unanimous, and it will be deferred. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Through the chair, the fourth deferral request for the morning session is item number 11, 3000 to 3020 Kennedy Road. Deferral at the request of the applicant in order to address community planning concerns.
Thank you. Do we have the agent or applicant available?
To the chair, Chris, you have been unmuted.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me?
I can, sir. First and last name and your address, please.
My name is Chris Pereira, Pereira. I am located at 25 Valleywood Drive in Markham, Ontario.
Very good, sir. You've heard what the deputy treasurer said. He's very articulate. Are you in agreement with this, or do you have something to add?
No, I agree with that. We are formally seeking deferral to allow a little bit more time to kind of work through some of the requested variances and continue working with community planning.
Very good, sir. Sit tight. We'll go into committee now. Go ahead, Ms. Holman.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I would move deferral of the application at the request of the applicant to deal with community planning concerns, and I would move deferral to the first available meeting.
Ms. Holman has put forth a motion to defer to the next available meeting this matter. Do I have someone that, Mr. Howe?
I will second the motion.
Through the chairs, hold on for a second. There's someone in the audience who wishes to speak about the deferral.
Yes.
Is there anyone here present on this matter we're discussing?
I'm sorry, it's not for this item. My apologies.
Well, it happens, and it keeps us on our toes, so everything's good. Where were we?
All in favor?
All those in favor? And that's unanimous. Thank you. Deputy Treasurer, I just want to point out, I don't think I'm on video. And I'm not sure how to rectify that problem because I'm 59 years old.
You are on mine. You're on mine.
Through the
All right.
chair, we can see you.
Thank you, and I'm sorry to the audience for that mistake.
I can say though that you may want to point it so it's on an angle right now. That's You're kind of on a side right now. Hold on.
You can see you now.
You're
Thank
looking
you
good.
for your- Yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, staff. Okay. We are now moving on to, we've done the deferrals, so that takes us, I believe, to,
Isn't there one more?
oh, yes, there is one more.
Call? Colin, is there another deferral?
Through the chair, for item 14 is the very last deferral for the morning session. It's 228 Scarborough Golf Club Road. Deferral at the request of the applicant in order to address community planning concerns.
Thank you, Deputy Treasurer. I noticed that there is also a refusal with respect to TR. And I'm also wondering, is there anyone in the audience here today on this matter? There's not. Is the agent or applicant online?
And members of the committee, DeMarco initials J. I act on behalf of the owners. We're requesting a deferral so we can deal with planning issues and whatever issues there are from any department or their concerns thereof.
Thank you, sir. Can you also, did you provide your address?
Yes, it's 1575 Lawrence Avenue West, 3204. And it's Giuseppe DeMarco Legal Services Professional Corporation.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so just sit tight. We'll take this matter into committee. Do I have a, go ahead, Mr. Howe.
Thank you, Chair. At the request of the applicant, I move deferral of this item in order for them to address community planning concerns to the next available hearing.
Wonderful. Do I have someone to second the motion for deferral? Ms.
I'll
McCauley?
second that motion.
Seconded by Ms. McCauley. All those in favor? Sir, your matter's been deferred.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, have a good day.
Okay, moving right along, let's get back to the list proper. And that takes us to item number 2. 3. Just your indulgence for a moment here. I'm just going to move some things around on my computer. Okay. Item number 3, 2130 Lawrence Avenue East, Unit 100. Purpose of the application to permit the use of an arcade cafe, arcade games within the ground floor unit of 100 of the 4-story commercial building. There will be no exterior alterations. There is a request for two variances. Okay, do we have the applicant or agent online?
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you. My name is Christian Chen, registered professional planner from the Planning Agency, Inc., Suite 138 at 157 Adelaide Street, West Toronto, Ontario, and I'm the agent for the applicant.
Thank you, sir. Before we get a presentation, if we even need one, I'm just going to canvass the audience. Is there anyone here on this matter? No, and there's no one online. Committee members, do we need a presentation, or do we have any questions? Mr. Agent, this committee seems quite satisfied with the materials you supplied us. Would you be content with us going into committee and making a decision?
Absolutely, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
I think that's a wise choice. So hold tight, and now we're in committee. Go ahead, Ms. Ullman.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I note that this was previously a Swiss chalet as provided by the cover letter by the agent. So the cafe itself is permitted. It's just the arcade that is not. There's also, the counselor sent a letter in support. However, from my perspective, I think that this meets the 4 tests. There's no residential in the area. I don't feel that the arcade with the cafe would have any negative effects. If there are no other comments from my colleagues, I would be prepared to move a motion for approval.
Thank you, Ms. Ullman. I don't see any other questions, so why don't you put forth your motion, and we'll see what happens.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So for all the reasons stated, I feel that this meets the 4 tests, and it's a fit within the context of this area. So I would move approval of the application with no conditions.
Thank you, Ms. Ullman. So we have a motion to approve by Ms. Ullman. Ms. McCauley?
I will second that motion.
And that motion's been seconded by Ms. McCauley. All those in favors? That's unanimous. Sir, that's been approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and panel members, and have a great day.
Okay, item number 4. This is for 112 GOLFHAVEN Drive, Toronto. Purpose is to alter the existing 1-story detached dwelling by constructing a rear 2-story addition. The 2nd-story addition will contain a 2nd dwelling unit. Do we have the agent or applicant online?
To the chair, Young, you have been unmuted.
Oh, okay. My name is Young Jan. I'm the applicant for this application. I'm located at 120 First Avenue.
To the chair, we are unable to hear you. Can you speak louder?
Okay. Can you hear me now, or is it better?
Yes, it's much better. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. My name is Young Jan. I'm the applicant. I'm located at 120 First Avenue East, Scarborough, Ontario.
Very good, sir. I will note on this file, too, item number 4, that there are conditions of approval by Community Planning and Urban Forestry. At this point, sir, before you give us a presentation, I'm going to canvass the committee. Does anybody have any questions or wish a presentation from this applicant? No. Sir, the committee feels that you've submitted enough materials that we understand what you're requesting. We have no questions, and we don't need a presentation. Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to go into committee. Hold tight, please. Go ahead, Mr. Khan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you, sir, I'm going to make the motion, and it is based on the staff recommendation as well, that the approval with 2 conditions be allowed with forestry conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. You're putting forward the motion to approve based on the recommendations of staff and the conditions. Do we have anyone who will second that? Go ahead, Ms. Holman.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I'll second that motion.
This application has been seconded by Ms. Ullman. All those in favor? And that's unanimous. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, we're at item number 5. This is for 12 CAVEHILL Crescent, Toronto, to alter the existing 1-story detached dwelling by constructing a 2nd-story addition with a deck and a side north yard addition with an expanded attached garage and oversized driveway. There are conditions from community planning and urban forestry. I noticed that there's no correspondence and no speakers here today.
I'm the homeowner.
You are?
Yes. My name is
Okay.
Hong
Well, hold on a minute, sir. We'll get to that in a minute. Do you have an agent
Cheng.
with?
Mr. Denji Kong, he should be online.
Okay, we'll get to that, but I'm saying there's nobody here to object to the application. Okay. Thank you, though. Very clear voice. Well done. Okay, let's hear from the agent online, please.
My name is Dejin Kong. I is applicant for this project. I live location in the 35 19 Queenstone Drive, Mississauga, Ontario.
Very good, sir. Just give us a chance here to canvass the committee. Does anyone have any questions or need a presentation? Oh, we're going to ask you a question, Mr. Agent. Are you available for a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you, sir. I just want to ask, in his application, he has said add second story and north side add. Add second story. What side is it? Where is it?
Is north side on the second floor.
What side? North side. But he,
Yeah, north side,
it means he's repeating twice. Add
Yeah,
second
original
story
is
and-
bungalow. He just remove the roof here, become the second floor. Yeah, that is the original one.
So it means he has repeated. Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. Thank you, Mr. Agent. I think that satisfies Mr. Khan. Does anyone else have a question? Or okay. We're going to go into committee now and make a decision on this matter. So hold tight, please. We've heard Mr. Khan's question. We've read our fulsome brief. Would anybody like to put forth a motion? Go ahead, Mr. Howe.
Thank you, Chair. Through you, I move approval of this application. There are 5 variances before us. Holistically, they appear minor and meets the 4 tests of the Planning Act. And this is subject to community planning conditions, that the front yard must be constructed using equal pavers, as well as urban forestry conditions 1 and 2.
Thank you, Mr. Howe. It's motion put forth to approve based on the conditions being concluded from community planning and urban forestry and on the 4 test rule. Go ahead, Ms. Holman.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I'll second that motion. I feel that it meets the 4 tests, fits within the context of the neighborhood.
And that motion's been seconded by Ms. Ullman, who feels it fits in the context of the neighborhood. All those in favor? And that's unanimous, and the application's approved. Take care, sir.
Yeah, I know. I'm just texting.
And now we move to item 6. Item 6, 11 Larkhill Avenue, Toronto, to permit and maintain the existing detached garage converted into habitat space, an ancillary building containing a garden suite in the rear yard of the lot containing the existing 1 1/2 story detached main dwelling. There will be a total of 2 dwelling units on the lot. We have petition letters of objection, 13 signatures, and 1 registered speaker, and conditions of approval from urban forestry. Let me just check in. Is there a speaker here present on this matter? in the audience? No. Is there someone online? There is, thank you. Can we hear from the applicant or agent, please?
Chair and committee members. My name is Mahshad Neshsar from Permitman, located at 180 West Beaver Creek Road, Richmond Hill. And thank you for the opportunity to speak in support of the minor variance application for the property located at 11 Larkhall Avenue. As you mentioned, this application involves converting the existing garage into a garden suite, along with a small addition on the east side of the garage. We are requesting 3 variances. First, soft landscaping, which is required to be 15% of the rear yard. Second is about the side yard setback. The bylaw requires 1.3 meter side yard setback. We are requesting a variance to maintain 0 for the addition on the east side of the existing garage. And the third variance is regarding separation distance from the main building. The bylaw requires 4 meter separation between the main building and the garden suite, and in our case, we are requesting 3.30 meter, which reflects the existing condition of the garage. For the first variance, the existing driveway occupies approximately 36% of the rear yard, and the garden suite cover approximately 30%. So as a result, the available soft landscaping falls below the required 50% of the rear yard. In fact, the condition is due to the existing site layout rather than any new design intensification. And the proposal doesn't aim to reduce green space. It simply works with what already exists on the property. And for the second variance regarding the side yard setback, the proposed addition is next to the backyard at 3 Anticosti Drive. The owner of this property has no objection and has signed a letter of support. Although their signature was submitted after the initial deadline due to the temporary unavailability, but it was sent to the Shirley yesterday and is now on file with the city. Even though it was submitted late, it clearly shows that the adjacent neighbor located at 3 Anticosti Drive, and the neighbor who is directly reflected by this setback support this proposal. And for the third variance, regarding the distance between main dwelling wing and the garden suite, the distance of 3.30 meter from the main building is an existing condition, and the garage is already existing and located at this distance. We are not reducing this distance further. And additionally, 14 neighbors, including adjacent neighbors, have signed a letter of support for this application. And in conclusion, we believe these variants meet the general intent and purpose of the official plan and zoning bylaw. They are appropriate and desirable for the development of the property, and they are minor in nature with no adverse impact on privacy or the character of the neighborhood. So we believe this proposal supports the city's housing goals while respecting the fabric and integrity of the neighborhood. Thank you for your time and consideration. I'll be happy to answer any question you may have.
Thank you for that presentation. I want to make a correction. I owe you an apology, agent, and that is that on paperwork before me on my desk, I have written under correspondence petition letters of objection, 13 signatures. But it would appear that they're actually petition letter of support. Is that correct?
Yes.
My apologies. It is support, worth noting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just we have one objection by an email, I think. I find it out in a committee documents, and it was regarding the the objection. The person has concern regarding the additional dwelling unit regulation in a city, not specifically about the variance of this application, just about the concern about additional dwelling unit in neighborhood.
Very good. We're going to have some questions from the committee. Please hold on. Go ahead, Mr. Khan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you, sir, I would like to ask the question for variance number 1. Would you be kind enough to give me the percentage? You are mentioning here soft landscape as 35.88 meters square. What is the percentage?
The percentage, as it mentioned in a zoning review, right now is, let me check it.
Because generally they are mentioned in percentage.
Yeah, I didn't mention it. It should be around 85 square meter, but right now it's 35 square meter.
What is the percentage?
I can calculate it for you right now. It's around 20%. And as if you see the plans, you can see that in a rear yard we have the existing garage, and in result we have a wide driveway for two parking space driveways. So as we have an existing driveway, and it covered more than 30%, 36% of the rear yard. And also the garden suite cover more than around 30% of the rear yard. So in a result, we cannot have the required soft landscaping in a rear yard. And for converting this garage to the garden suite, we didn't reduce any soft landscaping in a rear yard. It's an existing situation.
Thank you.
Hold on, Ms. Holman, go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, can you just confirm, like, everything is existing conditions, so all of these variances are existing conditions, correct?
Just we have the small addition in the east side of the garden suite. So by this addition, we have a variance of side setback.
Yeah, that little triangular piece, right?
Yes.
And
yes, in the side plan, yes, exactly, in this location.
And is the driveway, is it asphalt or what is it?
It's asphalt.
Is there any consideration to be given to making changes to putting a little bit more?
Sorry, I can hear your voice.
Are you considering making some changes in terms of perhaps permeable pavers, adding any any softscape or not? Or just the addition?
I'm so sorry, your voice was distorted.
Okay, I don't know. Like now I'm actually screaming, but okay. Are you contemplating making the driveway, any sections of the driveway, permeable pavers, or adding any softscape?
In our proposal, we keep the existing situation of the building. So the existing driveway and the existing soft landscaping in the side setback, and some in a rear setback, I mean. And the existing walkway, we keep all the existing situation.
Okay, so you're not planning to make any improvements then? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Holman. Does anyone else? Oh, Mr. Howe, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I have a question for the applicant. So you won't have any more garages after this, right?
We don't have any garage, but we have a parking space in the driveway.
How many do you think your driveway can accommodate?
I think there is 2 parking space can be accommodated in this in the existing driveway.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Howe. Thank you, Agent. I know we have a speaker online also, don't we? Okay, so we have somebody in the audience. Who would you like to go with first? I guess we'll go with the audience. Hi, sir. Your full name and your address, please.
Hello, I'm next door neighbor, and I'm having one awful time hearing in here because I have a hearing aid, and the echo is atrocious. But my problem is there's an addition on the back of the garage which is within 6 inches of the property line. And I understood you couldn't build anything next to the property line. I thought there was a setback to the property line.
Okay, very good question, Albert. Can you hear me?
No. The echo is atrocious. I can't. It's like an echo chamber here.
Okay, hold on a minute.
My address? My address is 9 LARKHALL.
Okay,
I'm
very
next
good.
door.
Number 9. Second question is, if I heard you correctly, you're wondering if there is a setback in the rules and regulations for building from the fence line.
Yes, I realize the addition has within 6 inches of the property line on number 3, Anticosti.
I'm going to turn over the microphone to Miss Ullman because she's kind of an expert in that area.
I don't know about that. Can you hear me? Or it's still echoing. Can you just convey to, is it Albert, that there is a requirement for 1.3 meter setback, but they're asking for 0 setback, and they've built it already, I presume, so that he is correct. There is a requirement, and that's why they're here to vary it.
Okay, well, it's your decision. Okay, I don't know. You know, if you have, I'm just concerned if there's 0 setback, what happens if they move sideways and come within 0 inches of my property?
Can you just ask him, it's built already, is there a fence between the two? Is it impacting his yard in any way? Could you ask him? Thanks. They've heard your concerns.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, and thank you to city staff for that excellent help. I believe, Ms. V, we have, sorry. I believe we have someone online, too, to speak to this issue, so let's hear from them. And then we'll circle back possibly to the agent.
To the speaker.
Hi there. This is in regards to 11 LARKHALL Avenue.
Well, you're at the right place. Can we have your first and last
so
name?
My mom
Hold
is
on,
on. My
Miss.
mom will speak.
Hello. Can we have your first? Okay, just.
It's very difficult to hear you guys. It's and you're mumbling when you're talking on the mic. So this is a very poor WebEx. Like.
Okay, couple of things. Point taken. Thank you for your feedback. Are you saying that there is a 2 phone lines connected to us right now, your mother and you?
No, we're both online. We're both online waiting, but
All right.
it's very hard to hear everything. Like it's people are mumbling when they're talking, and the 5 of you, you're like, it's like that man that said earlier, Joe, it's like an echo. So
Okay.
we have sent in an email that we opposed this. application, and we did send it by email. So I don't know if I'm even being heard right now because I can hardly hear you guys. All I see is I've been unmuted. So for that matter of fact, we'd like our email that was sent in to be taken into consideration. The biggest thing here is volume. You're having two residences in one residential property, the taxes, the parking. Already in this neighborhood, there is a large volume since we've lived there over 40 years that a lot of the houses are being transformed into illegal basement apartments. There's cars parked on streets. There's no parking enforcement officers, right? And now you're going to be building more volume of people in this neighborhood, and which it already is. And the parking on the streets, there's no enforcement of like this house, it's going to have two cars. She's saying there's going to have two cars on the driveway. How do we know that? Some of these multi-residential homes, they have 4 or 5 vehicles, and some of them end up on the street. Plus the value of other people's houses are going to go down in relation to these multi-residential homes that are being built. And right beside this 11 LARKHALL, there is another property there that is being built. There's another house being built behind that house, right? It is lowering the value of my property because of these multi-residential homes that are being built. So there are other things that we did put down in the email, but I don't know if you're even hearing what I'm saying because there is a problem with your system. And I did call Shirley Lau for the city while this is on, but she's not responded. So you have our email with our concerns. So we would kindly appreciate it if you could read that email succinctly and take that into consideration.
Okay, okay. Can you hear my voice?
Through the chair, for the record, can we have the speaker's name and address, please?
Yeah, that's what
Alshelia Rivera, 63 Gage Avenue.
that's where I was going, Deputy Treasurer. I just wanted to make sure they could hear my voice
We
first.
are neighbors behind this property.
Thank you. So, can you hear my voice right now?
Very faintly. Very, very faintly.
Okay. We have your email. We've heard everything you said very clearly. I'm just going to look at the committee members and ask if anybody has a question for you. Ms. Holman, go ahead. Oh, okay, we don't have a question for you. So could you just sit tight, and we're going to give the agent an opportunity to answer to these concerns, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Can we have the agent back on, please?
That's useless, That's useless because this agent is. So that's it. That's it. You made your voice known.
They're Chinese. These people they're Chinese. The applicant is the agent.
Okay, you're still online, ma'am. Can you just stop talking for a minute? Can you just stop talking? We're listening to. Oh.
Okay.
Can you cut her off, please?
Through the chair, she's been muted.
Thank you, Deputy Treasurer. Much appreciated. We just don't want to hear all that chatter between her and her mom. And we're looking for the agent online, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Madam Agent, Madam Agent, you've heard some concerns from a gentleman called Albert. You've heard from a lady, I can't even try to remember her name at this point, but she spoke to us online. Do you have anything you'd like to say to these concerns?
Yes, I understand all neighbors' concerns. Regarding the first objection, the person, the neighbor 9 LARKHALL, and his concerns was regarding the side setback. But I mentioned in my presentation that the side setback affects the adjacent neighbor located at 3 Anticosti Drive. not this neighbor, 9 LARKHALL. And the neighbor of the 3 Anticosti Drive signed the supporting letter. And they don't have any objection regarding this side setback, as I know that this addition is really close to their property, but they don't have any objection of this variance, and they signed the supporting letter as well. So and for the second neighbor who has a concern regarding regarding the additional dwelling unit in the neighborhood, but it's a zoning regulation, and each property in this neighborhood or even in other neighborhood can have a secondary additional dwelling units as per the zoning regulations. So we comply with that regulation. And even for the parking space concern, as I mentioned, we have 2 parking spaces in a driveway. We didn't reduce the parking spaces.
Thank you. I think Ms. Holman has a question or.
Yeah. When was that addition built, and why did you need that? Why did they need that little triangular piece when they already had a building that, has enough space for a secondary unit?
As far as I know, the addition was built in 2018, and on that time that they gonna convert the garden suite to the living area, convert the garage to the living area as a garden suite, they made that addition. And this addition is kitchen for that building, for the garden suite.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Holman. Does anyone else on committee have a question? Okay, I think we've heard from everyone, and we've also afforded the, okay, sorry. Sorry, 1 second.
Through the chair, the time for speakers has already, because you've already had a rebuttal.
I'm just procedurally, I cannot allow you to speak now because when we're asking for speakers, we. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. I shouldn't even have let you speak, but we've heard what you had to say, so wink, wink. Oh, we got to move on. Okay. No, I understand, and I forgive you. We're going to move on now. Let us go. Okay, all right. Let us go into committee now. All right. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, present and online in this committee, we operate under rules and guidelines that are established to do this fairly and legitimately, and we can't bend the rules as we go. So we now have to go into committee. That means we can't be interrupted, and we cannot take any more questions or ask any questions unless we choose to come out of committee. So just give us a chance now to roll this around on the committee. Who would like to start us off on this? Okay. This is a interesting file. It is a neighborhood that has some diversity to it for sure. There's big and small homes, and there's also homes that are in between, so they're medium. They're large lots. It's also connected to the area of Lawrence, which is a transit corridor. The city's asked all of us that live here and those putting forth applications that they are interested in creating greater density. That change is going to be challenging for those that have been living in neighborhoods for long times. I am struggling to find a reason to refuse this application for the simple reason that the departments in the city have not had any concerns that outside of urban forestry with their conditions. It doesn't mean that it will please everybody, but I am not seeing any problem with it meeting the four-test rule. And that's where I sit as the, one of the people on this committee. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to say or add? Go ahead, Mr. Khan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You have summed up, I think, very succinctly, and I agree with you that I'm also in favor of refusal of this proposal.
So if I hear you correctly, if you were to refuse this proposal, Mr. Khan, can you just flesh that out for the committee? Why would you refuse it?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, there are three variances in front of us. And the very first one has exceeded the rear yard soft landscape than the maximum allowable. And the second variance, the garden suite is 0 meter from the east lot line. Requirement is 1.3. And the third one is garden suite is 3.13, and we need a 4 meter, the most minimum. So all these three variances are not meeting the zoning bylaws, and therefore I have moved that this application be refused.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Khan to refuse this application. Do we have anyone to second that? Go ahead, Mr. Howe.
Thank you, Chair. I don't necessarily want to second the motion yet, but I want to share my view on this. The variance that I have problem with is number 2. It's proposing a 0 meter sideline setback. I recognize that the addition has been built. However, I don't think we should just approve because it's built. Certainly, if the addition hasn't been built and it came before us, I don't think we would allow, definitely wouldn't consider that to be appropriate and meets the 4 test of the Planning Act. So I'm trying to reconcile why I would approve now, just because it's been built without approval. So on that basis, I'm struggling to approve this application because of variance 2, in essence. If you look at the plans, the drawings that's been shown, it's literally encroaching on the fence. I just don't see how, if we open the bottleneck and set a precedent like this, how would that ever be justifiable from a zoning approval point of view? Thanks. That's my comments for now. I would like to hear my colleagues' points on that further.
And indeed, they're very, I'm going to get to you, Ms. McCauley. I'm just going to make a comment to Mr. Howe's comment. First of all, they're great points. And one of the things the city has pointed out to us, or at least me in my training for this role, and the deputy treasurer will correct me if I'm wrong, is that we cannot retroactively undo what's been done. And that should have very little bearing on our decision-making once they've already done it, in terms of declining an application. Am I hitting the mark on that, Deputy Treasurer?
Through the chair, really, I guess if I could summarize, it's the committee is tasked with treating every application that's before them, regardless if it's been built or if it's not been built, as new construction. Just consider it as new construction.
Very good. So that's excellent. So this is new construction, and that gives us the purview as a committee to refuse or approve, or ask the applicant for to choose deferral. Ms. McCauley, sorry for the wait.
Thank you. I'm looking at this application, and essentially what they've done is they've used the garage and converted it into a garden suite. As a garage, without any living accommodation, the use is got a certain number of provisions which are fine as a garage. Once you turn it into accommodation, then there is some consideration as to impact on the adjacent neighbors, impact on privacy, and impact of the use itself. So I have some problems with this. I share Mr. Hughes' issues. I think we've got to look at this. It's a garage, fine. But as living accommodation, no. And the comments I had was that it was only used as accommodation in the summer. We don't know that it's going to be used only in the summer. It's really a question of, is it appropriate use all year round with the variances that are requested? So I'm struggling with this one. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. McCauley. You've actually swayed me and Mr. Howe. I would not approve this application. So there's where I sit at this point. I'm reversing my initial thoughts on it with regards to the 4 test rule. I don't think it fits into the context of this community. So does anybody want to put forth a motion?
Through the chair, Member Khan has put forth a motion.
My
It's awaiting a seconder.
Yeah, we've heard from Mr. Khan. Thank you, Deputy Treasurer. Go ahead, Ms. Ullman.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I agree with all the comments made. I feel that a secondary suite could have been accommodated without putting this addition onto the lot line. So I'll second the motion to refuse the application, as I feel it does not meet the 4 tests and it does not fit within the context of the neighborhood. And I'll just add as a side comment, it's unfortunate that this was built, without coming before this committee at the time, but we do have to look at things as though they're just being proposed. And as my colleague said, if it was brand new construction, we definitely would not be approving a 0 lot line variance in a neighborhood.
Moved by Mr. Khan to refuse this application, seconded by Ms. Ullman for the reasons she's outlined. All those in favor of refusing the application? That's unanimous. The application's refused. Thank you. Okay, getting on with new business. I believe we're at, is it number 7?
Correct.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay. Let me get the microphone here. Item number 7, 8 Pine Ridge Drive, Toronto. Purpose of the application is to alter the existing 2-story detached dwelling with 3rd-story dormer addition by constructing side, west, and rear 2nd-story additions, a full 3rd-story addition, and a front porch. The existing attached garage, 3rd-story dormer addition, front porch, and part of the rear deck will be demolished. Note, in this case, the basement floor is considered the 1st story. My paperwork indicates there's conditions from community planning, urban forestry, and in terms of written correspondence, there's 1 letter of objection, and I don't believe we have any speakers in the audience present or online. No. So let's speak to the agent applicant, please.
Chair and members of committee, my name is Bijan Jamali. I am the applicant, agent, and designer of the house at this property. I am residing at 506 Glydefoot Road, Toronto, Ontario, and I am ready to answer any question you might have.
Sir, just 2 quick questions. You're aware of the conditions of approval as suggested by community planning and urban forestry?
Yes, sir.
And you would abide by them?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, let me canvass the committee. Does anyone need a presentation or have questions? Okay, Mr. Khan has a question. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you, sir, I have a very brief question, and that is related to variance number 3. Sir, you are asking 3 stories instead of 2. Is it 3 stories because of the grade, or it is outright 3-story because your variance
Yes,
number
let me
2?
explain to you. Even the existing house, without doing anything, according to zoning bylaw number 8, 2012, it's considered 3-story. And the reason is the basement height, the portion which is above the average grade, is greater than the portion below grade. That's why automatically basement becomes a floor. And then my first floor, my ground floor will become second floor, and the second floor will become third floor. So legally it's 3-story, but if you want to sell the house, you cannot sell this is the 3-story house because basement is basement. It's not a habitable area. You cannot have bedroom. You cannot have gas. You can do so many things in basement unless it become a legal basement, which we are not doing that because this is a single family house and they are not going to have a second unit in basement.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. Thank you, sir, for your answer. We did understand that. That was very clear. Does anyone else have a question for this gentleman? And, go ahead, Ms. Holman.
Through you, Mr. Chairman. Sir, have you read the letter of objection from the Cliff Crest Scarborough Village Ratepayers Association? And if so, can you just comment on their objections? Are you there?
Yes, yes.
Did you
Let me explain about this letter. I think regarding the third story of the house, they have the same issue because they are not considering basement as a floor. So I think this is a 2-story house, and anyone, even from outside, if you show me, if I can show you the picture which is on signposting photo, is it possible to show that picture?
Sir, you already explained the 3-story part. Can you just speak to the setback?
I think this was one of the comments.
Yeah, it is, but Mr. Khan already asked you that question and you already explained.
Okay,
so,
that
but
is
they talked about the side setback, if you could just
Okay,
speak to
again,
that.
the second floor, which I'm building on existing floor, it's exactly on the same footprint of the existing ground floor. And besides, from my side wall of garage to nearest wall of unit on west side is 23 meter. These are big lots. They are not like downtown houses which they have 1 foot, 2 foot setback. So I don't think this will affect this will have any impact on the situation. First of all, I don't have any window looking over that house. And second, is 23 meters away from that house. So it doesn't make any, even it's not making shadow over that house. So this is my question. This is the way I can answer that question.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Well,
Thank you, Ms. Holman. Go ahead, Ms. McCauley.
Okay. If there are any other questions, I'm just going to comment. This is Pine Ridge Road. We've seen a number of applications in this area. They are big houses on big lots. I note that the side yard setback is 4.51 meters, which is a substantial side yard setback in other situations. But in this situation, the character of the area it does allow for a very big setback on both sides. I believe that this application is appropriate. It meets the requirements, and it fits into the character of the area. I also note that the third floor really is a technical story as to how the building permit is identifies your basement as your first story. Sorry, I'm fairly long here. Basically, I think this development is appropriate. I think is minor, and I think it fits into all
Can I
the
speak?
concerns of the community.
Thank you, Ms. McCauley. I don't think it was too long at all. Would anybody, would you like to put forth a motion, Ms. McCauley?
I'll put forth a motion of recommendation approving in conjunction with the conditions of community planning that it be built in accordance with the site plan and the building elevations and the urban forestry conditions 1 and 2.
Very good. Mr. Khan?
I will second the motion.
Motion to approve by Ms. McCauley with conditions as she stated with regards to, sorry, I just lost it. As stated.
Site plan and building permit.
Thank you very much. And seconded by Mr. Khan. All those in favor? Motion approved, application approved. Thank you. Okay, new business, item number 8, 29 Sharpe Street. Just to give people an idea, we're going to take a break also on this committee at 11:30 for 15 minutes, and that'll be at 11:30. Item 8, 29 Sharpe Street, Toronto. Application to construct a new 2-story detached dwelling with a front porch, rear deck, a front balcony, and rear balcony, the existing dwelling to be demolished. I noticed for this item, there are conditions of approval from community planning and urban forestry. This is also an amended application in which variances 4 and 5 have been eliminated. Do we have any speakers online or present? No? Okay, can we speak to the agent or applicant?
Good morning, Mr. Chair and committee members. I'm Krishna Shah from CM Designers and Engineers, located at 537 Danforth Road, representing the client for property 29 Sharpe Street.
Very good. You're very clear in your articulation. Just keep your voice up for my older ears, please. I'm going to just, you're welcome. I'm going to look to the committee here. Does anyone wish a presentation or have questions? No. It appears that the materials you submitted are so thorough that we're not requiring a presentation or have questions. Would you be okay with us going into committee to make a decision?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much. We're in committee now. Oh, sorry, Mr. Khan, go ahead.
I just need, sir, through you, one information, if I may.
Okay, we do have a question. Go ahead, Mr. Khan.
Madam, I need one information for record. This is regarding variance number 2, where you are giving us 0.643 times lot area, but you are not giving us what is allowable. What is that percentage?
The allowed number is 204 square meter, which is 0.516.
Say that again, please.
Yeah, sure, I'll repeat that. The allowed is 204 square meter, which is 0.516.
516. Thank you, ma'am.
No problem.
That was very impressive, Agent. You seem to have that at the tip of your fingers. Well done. Okay, does Ms. Ullman go ahead?
Are we in committee, Mr. Chairman?
We are in committee.
Okay, through you, Mr. Chairman. This application, as you know, was amended. It went from 5 to 3 variances. I think that with the amendments and the discussions that took place with planning, that this application does fit within the context of the neighborhood. So if there are no comments from my colleagues, I would move approval of the application, including the community planning conditions in the June 27th report, which does have the plans attached to it as well, and forestry condition number 3.
Moved by Ms. Ullman to approve with community planning and urban forestry number 3. Go ahead, Mr. Khan.
Sir, I will second the motion.
And seconded by Mr. Khan. All those in favor? That's unanimous. Application is approved. Good day.
Number 10.
New business, item 10, 4 Gondola Crescent, Toronto. Application to alter the existing one-story detached dwelling by enclosing the existing carport and converting it into a habitable space. I understand for this item number 10, we have one registered speaker. Are they present or online?
Online.
Thank you very much. Can we speak to the applicant or agent, please, in this matter?
Good morning, members of the committee. Can you hear me?
We can. Your first and last name, sir, and your address.
Rainer Hoyer, agent for the applicant, 18 King Street East, Suite 1400, Toronto, Ontario.
There is one question I have, sir, and then I'm going to canvass this committee if we need a presentation and they have questions. My question is, there are conditions by community planning. Does the applicant agree to abide by them?
Yes, we do.
Very good. Does anyone else have a question or require a presentation in this file? No. Sir, based on the package and materials you've provided us, we don't need a presentation and we have no further questions. Would you allow us to go into committee and make a decision on this?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Before I do that, I apologize. I forgot we do have a speaker online. Go ahead. Let's hear from the speaker first.
Through the chair, Joanne, you have been unmuted.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have nothing further to add. Thank you.
And I'm sorry I forgot you there. Thank you for your time. So that being said, we're in committee as of now. Does anyone want to put forth a motion of any sort? Go ahead, Mr. Khan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will make the motion. We have two variances and they are quite clear to us, and it has been approved by the community planning with the conditions in their letter of June 2025. So I move this application be approved.
Mr. Khan has moved the application be approved. Ms. McCauley, go ahead.
I believe there's a condition that it be built in accordance with the...
Yeah, that is, I said, community planning conditions.
Sorry, Mr. Khan, I obviously wasn't listening enough. I will second his motion for approval.
Wonderfully done. Moved by Mr. Khan to approved with community planning conditions, seconded by Ms. McCauley. All those in favor? That's unanimous. The application is approved. Have a good day, sir. New business, item 12. (41) BOBMAR Road, Toronto. Application to construct a new two-story ancillary building containing a garden suite with basement, a rear basement walkout, and a second-story front balcony in the rear yard of a lot containing an existing two-story detached main dwelling. There will be a total of 2 units on the lot. I notice for this matter there are conditions of approval from community planning, urban forestry. This is also an amended application revising variances 1 and 2. There is written correspondence, 2 letters of objection, and I'm just going to canvass the audience. Is anyone here on this matter? No. Is anyone online on this matter outside of the agent or applicant? No? Okay. Can we hear from the agent or applicant, please?
Nafish, you have been unmuted. Through the chair,
The applicant Nafish, you have been unmuted.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Good morning. Can we get your first and last name and your address and your status in this matter, please?
Sure. My name is Nafis Zangiabadi. My address is 30 Apple Orchard Path, Thornhill. I'm the agent on the file.
Wonderful. Before I canvass committee on anything further, I got to ask, does the applicant have any concerns about following community planning and urban forestry conditions?
No, actually, we're okay to make those modifications. Variance number 1 to be reduced to 70 square meter, and variance number 2 for the balcony to be removed. And we have already also submitted an application to urban forestry.
Wonderful. Okay, let me just canvass this committee. Ms. McCauley, go ahead.
Thank you. I have a question. I note that this is a lot that is 54 meters in length, so it's a very long lot. And the garden suite is 3 meters from the rear lot line. Why is the garden suite located so far from the dwelling unit and so close to the rear lot line?
We just wanted to minimize the impact on our immediate neighbors. And also, even though it's far lot located far back in the lot, it's about 23-meter distance from the garden suite to the rear property. And also, we wanted to preserve the trees as much as possible. So the way that we located the garden suite, it's actually minimizing the impact on the immediate neighbors on the sides, and also still far away from the rear neighbor.
Okay, I think one of the comments we had received was from the neighbor to the rear, and he was concerned about how close that garden suite was to his property line. Are you proposing to provide any privacy back in that area, such as additional trees or fencing?
Yes, just to clarify, we don't have a rear yard setback at the back, so we do comply with the rear yard setback. And as I said, we're 23 meters away from them, but we're okay to add privacy, like the trees at the back. We're okay with that too.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McCauley. So, yeah, if I understood you, Agent, this would be okay to add trees to that issue?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody else? Okay, I'm just checking if you have a question. Okay. At this point, we're just going to go into committee. We didn't need a presentation, and we'll make our decision.
Okay.
So we're in committee. Go ahead, Ms. Holman.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would note that the letter of objection came from number 53, which is not directly behind this property. They're actually one over. However, I do respect the fact that the agent would be willing to put some trees in the back. And, you know, given the fact we don't have a variance before us for the setback, although I respect Ms. McCauley's question, you know, they are complying with the setback, so they can put this where they're proposing to put it. So having said that, with the amendments, they're actually in compliance with the planning report, so we no longer need the planning report. So I would, other than the part about any other variances that may appear on these plans but are not listed in the written decision, are not authorized, and forestry condition number 2, I would move approval of this application as I feel it meets the 4 tests and fits within the context of the neighborhood.
Through the chair, so just to clarify, in terms of the community planning, if someone could put the community planning staff report up.
The conditions they don't need. It's just they're adding this line now about any other variances that may appear on the plans, because they've deleted variance number 2 and they've amended variance number 1 to the 70 square meters. So we don't need the conditions. So
you are correct. Yeah, you don't need to. The committee does not. If you don't want, you're right. The committee doesn't need to impose community planning conditions.
No, but I guess I'll ask you, because I've noticed that on all the reports as of late, they're adding this, any other variances, like under number 2. Do we need to put that in somewhere or not? I mean.
I don't think you do.
Okay, so in that case, we only need forestry condition number 2 then, Mr. Chairman.
And just so I'm clear, forestry condition 2, that would also include the fact that today the agent has spoken to putting trees in the back, to Ms. McCauley's question?
I'm, again, to Mr. Deputy Secretary Treasurer, would we put that in the notes, or can we put that as a condition?
Through the chair, when you impose conditions, as you noted earlier, it needs to be directly related to the variances that are being requested.
Okay.
If you wish, you can indicate for the record, and we
Yeah.
can reflect that in the minutes.
If you could put for the record that the agent has agreed to undertake planting trees in the backyard, I guess near the fence line, to mitigate any oversight from the neighbors.
Thank you for that clarification from all parties. So we have a motion to approve by Ms. Ullman as stated. I look to Ms. McCauley, would you like to second?
I will second that.
Through the chair, before you do that, just a point of clarification, because if you could put up the public hearing notice, just a point of clarification.
You want it as amended, or?
Well, first of all, it needs to be as amended, but the second thing is that the purpose of the application, because the applicant has eliminated the second floor balcony, as a technical amendment, we will revise this to strike that out, and that will be reflected in the decision. But through the chair, it should be as amended as well.
Okay, so let me just recap. So there's going to be the technical amendment removing the balcony from the purpose, and then I'm moving approval for what I outlined before for the reasons with forestry condition number 2, and then for the record that the applicant will undertake to put trees in at the rear lot line to mitigate any oversight, and it's as amended.
Thank you, Ms. Ullman. As amended, the application is approved by Ms. Ullman. Ms. McCauley?
I will second that approval.
And seconded by Ms. McCauley. All those in favor? That's unanimous, and the application is approved as amended. Thank you. So my colleagues pointed out it's 11:27. We're going to play hooky and break 3 minutes early. And we'll see you all in 15. Thank you. All right, video's back on, and we're going to resume now, ladies and gentlemen, after our break. Thank you. We are at item 13. Just let me get my technology going here. There we go. And that is for 735 Warden Avenue, Toronto. Application to alter the development standards for the 9-story mixed-use building by increasing the maximum permitted number of dwelling units, reducing the number required floor area of commercial uses required at grade, and reducing the minimum required parking supply for commercial and restaurant use. Cross-reference site plan control application and previous minor variance application. There is no correspondence. I have no speakers. I have no objections or support, and I have no conditions from various city departments. Do we have the agent/applicant online or here? Are here? Come on down. Good morning. Is your microphone on?
Can you hear me? Yes? Okay.
Sorry, we can hear you now. Just make sure you speak into the mic. First and last name and your address, please.
Stephanie Quast from Bousfields, 3 Church Street, Suite 200, Toronto.
Thank you very much. Just before you give us a presentation, if that's your choice, I'm just going to ask the committee, does anybody here have any questions for the agent or any need of a presentation? No? No. It appears that the materials you submitted have been so thorough and informative to us that we're not looking for a presentation. We have no questions. We can go into committee and make a decision for you. What is your choice?
Happy for you to go into committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Wise choice. Okay, we're in committee. Look to Ms. Ullman to start us off, please.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I think that this application meets the 4 tests. I don't have any concerns with it. The presentation material and the covering letter were were good explanatory materials. So I would move approval of the application with no conditions. The planning report was information only and transportation had no concerns.
Thank you very much. Ms. Ullman moves to approve this. Go ahead, Mr. Khan.
Mr. Chair, I will second the motion.
Well said. The motion's been seconded by Mr. Khan. All those in favor? That's approved and unanimous. Have a good day.
Thank you.
We're moving to item 15.
Yep.
Yes, 89 Parcel Square, Toronto. Application to construct a new 2-story ancillary building containing a garden suite with basement in the rear yard of the lot containing the existing 2-story detached main dwelling. There will be a total of 2 dwelling units on the lot. I notice with this one, we have conditions of approval from community planning, no correspondence, no speakers, no objections. And do we have the applicant agent online?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. This is Sham Sayed, 6 Ripon Street, McRae's Inc., Mississauga. On behalf of the property owners, I'm the registered, one of the registered authorized agents. So may I have the opportunity to briefly discuss this project?
Not yet. Just hold on, sir. Just repeat your first and last name again.
So the original applicant is Waliuddin Mohammed, and I am Sham Sayed. I'm also one of the authorized agents for this.
Okay, hold tight a minute. I'm going to canvass this committee, see if we have any questions or require a presentation. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, Ms. Ullman has a comment, and other than that, sir, we're not going to require a presentation. So, Ms. Ullman, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to note that the planning report conditions have actually been met in the revised, the revisions that were made. So we wouldn't need those conditions, and because the applicant already sent in amended variances, so we're looking at amended application.
Thank you, Ms. Ullman. Sir, just for the record, we're not going to need a presentation from you, and if I've heard Ms. Ullman correctly, this will be as amended. her motion to approve because with the variance revised 1 and 2, there's no more community planning conditions required. And from that point of view, does anyone here want to second the motion? Mr. Khan, go ahead.
I will second the motion.
Okay, through you, Mr. Chairman, I didn't realize it was a motion, but it was a comment. But I just want to add that I feel it meets the 4 tests and it fits within the context of the neighborhood. And then I'll give it over to Mr. Khan.
Thank you. Mr. Khan?
Yes, sir, I will second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. Moved by Ms. Ullman as amended and seconded by Mr. Khan. All those in favor? That's unanimous. The application's approved. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you very much. You too.
We are now new item 16, which is 67 Crockford Boulevard, Toronto, application to alter the existing one-story vehicle service shop by constructing one-story partial side north and full rear yard addition. Okay. I noticed for this application, we have a letter of objection in our supplemental agenda and conditions of approval from community planning, but there is no speakers. Do we have the agent or applicant online?
Yes, my name's Stavros Theodorakopoulos, engineer and agent for the owners. My address is 2 Black Court, Aurora, Ontario.
Thank you, sir. Just hold tight a minute. I want to canvass this committee. Does anybody have any questions for the agent or comment? Ms. McCauley, go ahead.
Thank you. If the agent could give us a short presentation, what I'm mainly interested in is the concern of the neighbor of the use of the neighbor's driveway. How is the circulation and parking on this site going to be handled so that you're not using the adjacent neighbor's driveway for access?
Well, I've discussed this with the owner, and he's going to talk to his tenant, and he assured me that they will rectify that problem. There's a fence between the 2 properties up to the front of the buildings. So I guess the issue is the portion in front of that fence to the street line. And I mean, he's assured me there's nothing I can do to prevent it, but he's assured me he's going to speak to his tenant regarding that issue.
Okay, so you're asking to expand the building so that you have less parking in the rear. Is that an issue?
Well, the building, we have enough parking based on the bylaw. The current tenant is storing vehicles on the property, which is causing problems, and that's not going to happen in the future. I believe this tenant is not going to be continuing further. There'll be a new tenant. So we don't have a variance for the parking, and we are adding 3 bays to the service facility, so that will help keep cars inside the building rather than out on the street. And we're adding a landscape portion at the front as well, which will alleviate the issue of cars being stacked in the front. I'm sure you've driven by Crockford. You can see it's all industrial area, and a lot of it is just paved in the front, and people park wherever. So I think the front yard landscaping will help assist in that control of the parking.
Okay, and I'm familiar with vehicle service shops and their proliferation of cars waiting to be serviced. So I understand the issues of the adjacent neighbor. I understand the issues actually of the owner. And although I haven't used one on Crockford, I've used another one where I wondered where near if I was going to park my car while it was waiting to be serviced. So I think it's an overall issue. I'm glad to hear that you're taking steps to improve that and not create additional problems on your neighbor.
Correct.
So those are my comments.
Thank you, Ms. McCauley. Just 1 second, Mr. Collin, for a second. I will say I'm very familiar with Crockford Boulevard. I did look around the area. It is medium to heavy industrial use. There is a lot of issues with vehicles parking wherever because it's heavily influenced by the automotive sector. That being said, Ms. McCauley fleshed out very functionally that we just don't want to cause more disruptions to other neighbors. So thank you, Agent, for your response to that. Go ahead, Mr. Khan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think you have covered what I wanted to ask. Thank you very much.
Sorry about that. I look to my left, I look to my right. Does anybody have any more questions for this agent? Okay. Sir, if you are okay with it, we're going to go into committee now and make a decision.
That's fine, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I turn to Mr. Howe. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I move approval of this application. There's only one variance. It looks minor and meets the 4 test of the Planning Act, and this approval will be subject to community planning condition.
Mr. Howe has moved to approve this, subject to community planning condition. Ms. McCauley?
I will second that, and again, subject to community planning condition.
And seconded by Ms. McCauley. All those in favor? That's unanimous. The application is approved. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, you too.
And now, new business, items 17, 29 Balaclava Drive, Toronto. One second, I've just lost a piece of, here we go. Apologies. Okay, there we go. Application to alter the existing 1.5-story detached dwelling by enclosing the front porch, converting the basement into a secondary suite, and constructing a side south basement walkout. I notice for this we have form letters of support 2, no speakers, excuse me, no noted objections, and no conditions by city departments. Do we have the agent or applicant online, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can, sir. Good morning. Your first and last name and address?
My name's Michael John Metrokopansky. My current address is 30 Baseball Place, Unit 1506. The house at 29 Balaclava Drive is our family home, and my 2 sons occupy the home now, and with them recently being married, we plan to add a basement suite so that my youngest son with his newly wedded bride can have a place to live.
Sounds good. Just for clarity, you are the owner then?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so before we go any further, let me canvass this committee and see if anyone has any questions or wants a presentation. Oh, go ahead, Deputy Treasurer.
Through the chair, just a point of clarification. We have the public hearing notice on the screen. There is a technical amendment, and it's on the screen. It's the basement walkout is actually, the proposed construction is actually in the rear. It's a rear basement walkout. The way it's currently worded on the public hearing notice, it shows the side south yard. This technical amendment will be reflected in the minutes for the record, and we will also ensure that under the purpose of application for the decision, that the correction is reflected in the decision, should the committee approve it.
Thank you, Deputy Treasurer. Mr. John, do you understand what the Deputy Treasurer has said?
Yes, I updated the layouts to have a rear walkout. My understanding is that doesn't affect the minor variance request, which is to have, a shorter front yard setback. And we just wanted to make sure that what was shown and approved and what has been shown to our neighbors is consistent with what we plan to build.
Okay, good. Without further ado, then we're going to go into committee, sir, so hold tight.
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have one variance before us. It's to enclose the front porch. I feel that this meets the 4 test. I would also like to note that both adjacent neighbors are in support and that the porch is going to line up with the porch next door. So I think that, yeah, this to me is minor, and I would move approval with no conditions, and staff will make the technical amendment to the purpose.
Thank you, Ms. Ullman. As you stated, you moved to approve this with the technical amendment about the location of the one point mentioned by the Deputy Treasurer. Do we have someone to second it? Ms. McCauley?
I will second that motion.
And seconded by Ms. McCauley. All those in favor? That motion is approved unanimously. Thank you, sir. We will now adjourn for lunch. To return, I believe, around or approximately at 1:30. Enjoy your break.